Hey friends, my name is Wes. I am a psychology graduate student living in Chicago. I am currently training to be a therapist, and today what I want to talk about is seasonal affective disorder, also known as the acronym SAD, S-A-D, or just the winter blues. Seasonal affective disorder is a type of mental health issue where when the winter months come along, your mood naturally starts to go down. You start to have less energy, you start to crave more sugary or carb-laden foods, and you kind of go into hibernation mode a little bit, not really being less interested to go see your friends or leave the house. Maybe you spend more time on the couch or just napping throughout the day. You might feel less motivated, and since that often combines with it getting colder and the days getting shorter, this can be a really hard time for a lot of people. I myself have suffered from seasonal affective disorder, or just the winter blues, a lot throughout my life. And it's been a hard thing to overcome, especially when you're in a place like Chicago where it gets really cold and the days get really, really short. It can be very demotivating to look outside, see the weather, and feel like you just don't want to get up out of bed. So in today's video, I want to give you a few resources to help combat this. Now, seasonal affective disorder is interesting because it affects over 10 million Americans every year, and probably 3 to 4 million more have some kind of mild form of it as well. So a large amount of the population is affected by this, but it seems like we don't talk about it very much. It often gets grouped into other things like general anxiety disorder or depression. But it's quite normal, and it's something that's very in line with our biology as humans. If you think about it, before we had artificial light, before we had the ability to work regular hours, people were living in line with the sun's rhythms, with their circadian clock. And so that resulted in, as the days got shorter, people would naturally want to go inside, spend less time outdoors, and spend time by a warm fire or around family and friends. They would probably sleep more, have less time outside doing their normal activities, and this is a very natural thing that we in today's modern world have started to adjust on our own by giving people artificial light, making them work a regular workday, and forcing them into this kind of modern capitalist box that makes them into, that can really kind of affect your mood in a negative way. So to combat this, I'm going to give you a few things that the research says are really helpful, and I'm also going to give you a few things that have helped me personally over the years. So the first thing that the research says is just to get outside, get some light as much as you can. Natural light is the most helpful thing we can do for our body and our mood. When natural light hits our skin and our eyes, our body naturally produces serotonin, which is a neurochemical that contributes directly to your feeling of happiness and satisfaction in life. Now, getting as much sunlight as you can be really helpful, especially during those winter months when the days get shorter. Combined with that, if you can go outside and get into nature, this has also been shown to be very helpful. People are generally happier when they're more in touch with the outside natural world. The next thing that is really helpful is, you guessed it, exercise. So exercising regularly has all kinds of benefits, especially for your mood and happiness level. And I know it can be really difficult to work up the motivation to get up off the couch, go for a run, work out in some kind of way, especially during those winter months when it's really cold outside. But what I found to be really helpful is just buying the right gear, finding a few different layers to put on, even if you feel ridiculous doing it, just finding a few things to wear to layer up just to get you outside, and you'll immediately start peeling those off once you work up your body heat a little bit more and start kind of running around. Similar to natural sunlight, the next solution that I have is using light therapy. So if you can't get outside during the day, or maybe you're working irregular hours, then the best thing you can do for yourself is to buy a lamp that is designated for light therapy and will actually shine UV light into your eyes, onto your face, and to get you a little bit of that experience of sun exposure through a different mechanism. I use one of these most days now because I'm mostly stuck inside, either studying or working, and I found it to be incredibly helpful for my mood throughout the day. So I would definitely recommend trying it, and I'll put a few links to some products that I've used in the past below. Two other things that you can do to combat the winter blues or seasonal affective disorder are, first, to really watch your daily habits. So if you watch how you're spending your time. If you spend all of your time in front of a computer screen and then you go from that screen to sitting on the couch watching TV at night, then this could be affecting your mood. You need to make sure that you're getting up, moving around throughout the day, poking your head outside as much as you can, and trying to remain as positive as possible. Sitting in front of the TV, although it can be a lot of fun, is a great way to really depress your mood over time. So really watch your habits throughout the winter, because before you know it, all of a sudden things can compound. One thing can lead to another, and you'll look up and realize that you're even less motivated than you were before. The next thing that I really encourage you to do is really try to plan. So when I moved to Chicago just a few months ago, I started asking everybody I knew, hey, this is a big winter coming up. I've never experienced the Chicago winter. What would you recommend that I do to make sure that I can make it through this really hard time? And what everybody told me was plan. So make a plan going into the winter. Maybe you have the means to escape the city and go on a trip somewhere else, to somewhere a little bit warmer, a little bit sunnier. If you can, that's great. Make that plan, book that flight, take off. But again, you're looking to plan things that are fun, that you get to look forward to, that can really help brighten your day over time. So I gave you 4 different things to help combat the winter blues and seasonal affective disorder. I just want you all to know that this is a really hard time, and it's something that I've experienced too. So if you need any help or just have any questions about other things that have worked for me, I got a whole list here. Just drop a comment down below and I'll be happy to respond to you with some suggestions.